Prince Charles is hurt by his Harry and Meghan's decision to quit as senior royals because he secretly gave them millions to fund their lavish lifestyle in a show of love for the couple since they married 20 months ago. Harry's father reportedly used his private income to support the Sussexes because he was desperate to keep them happy in the UK and particularly to embrace his daughter-in-law after she moved to Britain from Toronto. It came as Harry and Charles will face each other for the first time in the abdication crisis today as crunch talks begin at Sandringham with the Queen and Prince William also in the room. Charles gives Harry £2.3 million a year from the profits of his private Duchy of Cornwall estate, slightly less than his older brother William, and also bankrolled much of his wedding in May 2018, which was estimated at up to £30 million. But today the Evening Standard claimed Charles has been topping up his annual duchy payment to Harry hundreds of thousands more, eclipsing the amount William has been paid. The cash has been used to furnish their Frogmore cottage home, which has already cost taxpayers £2.4 million to refurbish. A source told the newspaper, "There is a great deal of hurt given that the Prince of Wales has gone out of his way to help his son who he loves dearly and embrace his daughter-in-law into the family." Harry is due to arrive at Sandringham for make-or-break talks with the Queen, Charles and Prince William with his wife dialing in to support her husband from Vancouver this afternoon. A grim-faced Prince Philip was seen driving from the Norfolk Palace this morning, but the 98-year-old will not help broker an exit deal with the Sussexes, who he's said to furious with. Harry will ask his 93-year-old grandmother, father and brother to agree to let them keep their royal titles and carry out royal duties for Her Majesty around the globe while living in Canada or the US. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex plan to work towards financial independence, but their slick new Sussex Royal branded website does not say if they will refuse the cash they get from Prince Charles via his private £1.2 billion Duchy of Cornwall estate, which some argue should be regarded as a public asset. The insider told The Standard, "The figures quoted on the Sussex website are wrong. He has paid out considerable sums from his private investments and money too. These are not small sums. It should not be a surprise that he is upset by all this given the truth about how he has supported his son." The Queen has been leaning heavily on her husband for support, and Philip, who has lived in a cottage of the Sandringham estate since retiring from public life in 2017, has been staying in the main house with the Queen since the crisis broke. Philip was reportedly spitting blood with anger when he found out last Wednesday and yelled at his aides, "What the hell are they playing at?" Meghan reportedly told Harry she must step away from the royal family just 20 months after marrying into it, partly blaming his older brother, and according to the newspaper told her husband over Christmas, "It's not working for me." But hitting back, Harry and William said today, despite clear denials, a false story ran in a UK newspaper today speculating about the relationship between the Duke of Sussex and the Duke of Cambridge, adding, "For brothers who care so deeply about the issues surrounding mental health, the use of inflammatory language in this way is offensive and potentially harmful." Harry will be warned at his Sandringham mega summit there are formidable obstacles that will take months to overcome before he can stand down as a senior royal and move to Canada, but the Queen says the family must come up with a direction of travel for the Prince and Meghan, who is in Vancouver with Archie. Royal aides believe the meeting will be held from 2 p.m. so Meghan can deal in at around 6 a.m. after fleeing across the Atlantic hours after the couple quit last Wednesday. But the Duchess of Cambridge will not be supporting her husband in Norfolk today and stayed at Kensington Palace to look after their 3 children. Aides have been working around the clock to come up with a range of options for the couple since they issued their bombshell statement saying they plan to step back from frontline duties and divide their time between the UK and North America, while retaining their royal privileges and titles. The Queen, who was left deeply hurt by her grandson's decision to release the statement without her knowledge, made clear to courtiers she wanted the problem sorted within days to prevent further damage to the monarchy. Her Majesty is said to want guarantees that Harry and Meghan's business empire built around their Sussex title doesn't damage the royal family. William and Charles are expected to reject the couple's demands for taxpayer-funded police bodyguards while in the UK, and reportedly unhappy about the environmental impact of crisscrossing the Atlantic to carry out royal duties in Britain. The monarch is under more pressure to find a way forward because the Sussexes could give a tele-interview to their friend Oprah Winfrey and sound off about the royal family's racism and sexism if they do not get their way at Sandringham, Palisades Fair. The couple are said to see their long-term future in the US, but not while President Donald Trump is president, with friends claiming while the couple plan to live in Canada at first, their ultimate aim is to have a home and business in Los Angeles. Senior royals are gravely disappointed by Harry's decision to pull the plug on his position without a thought for William and his family, insiders revealed. The 35-year-old is said to be so caught up in his own misery he hasn't considered the fallout for the brother he was once inseparable from, and his little niece and nephews. It was reported on Saturday that the Duke of Cambridge is grief-stricken at the broken bond with Harry. "I've put my arm around my brother all our lives and I can't do that anymore. We were separate entities," he told a friend according to the Sunday Times. "I'm sad about that. All we can do, and all I can do, is try and support them and hope the time comes when we're all singing from the same page. I want everyone to play on the same team." When it was put to Harry last week that he needed to discuss his plans with William at least before pressing the nuclear button, he made clear he hadn't any intention of doing so. Neither had it occurred to him that there would also be ramifications for the young Cambridge children, George, 6, Charlotte, 4, and Louis, just 1. The siblings have only seen their cousin Archie, 8 months, once or twice since he was born. "He is so caught up with his own problems and just hadn't thought through how it would affect everyone else," said a source with intimate knowledge of the week's events. Friends say the rift between the two is so deep now that it is unlikely to be repaired for the foreseeable future. At today's summit, staff have managed to achieve the unthinkable in preparing a series of proposals to put on the table. Harry will also be warned that the crisis is not over yet. There have already been consultations between the UK and Canadian governments, but working out the detail is likely to take weeks or months rather than days. Behind the scenes, consultations have highlighted a range of stumbling blocks, such as issues of residency, visas, tax and security that may take some time to iron out, depending on what path the couple want to go down. Today's unprecedented summit will see the foremost senior members of the royal family and their closest aides sit down together, with Meghan likely to be dialing in by phone from Canada, where she fled back to on Thursday. She and Harry had left their son, Archie, 8 months, at their rented home on Vancouver Island when they returned to Britain. Harry is set to follow her later this week with no clue of when he will be returning. Following a series of meetings and consultations, the family would be given a range of possibilities to review, which take into account the demands outlined by the Sussexes last week. Brad B., who is believed by the royal household to be acting as Harry and Meghan's mouthpiece, told ITV last night that the royal family had to achieve a sensible agreement and give them the freedom they want, the role that they want in the royal family, and make sure British taxpayers don't feel cheated. But aides have warned that making such a seismic change to their working life and role in the monarchy will take complex and thoughtful discussions. A royal source said, "It is anticipated that at the end of the meeting a series of steps will be agreed, in line with Her Majesty's wish for this to be resolved within days not weeks."